Hi and welcome to another tutorial in Python for Intermediate series. In case you haven't watched the last tutorial, please watch it and then continue watching. Alright, now let's jump in and get started. In this tutorial, I will talk to you guys about classes in Python. Classes are extremely important in programming. We use classes to define new types. So far, you have learned about basic types in Python like strings, numbers, and booleans. These are the basic and simple types in Python. We also learned about the complex types like lists and dictionaries. When these types are extremely useful, they cannot be used to model complex concepts. So we can use classes to define new types to model real concepts. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to define a new type called applicant. Back to our program, let's define a variable names and let's set it to James, John, and Robert. Now here, when we type names, we get access to methods and functions which we can access. So now we will be creating an object called applicant, and this is going to have methods like name and age. Let me show you how to do this. So we start by defining the class keyword and then give our class a name. So note I have used a capital letter here. We use lowercase letters for functions and variables and separate them using underscores. But while defining classes, we use capital letters and we don't use an underscore to separate multiple words. Instead, we capitalize the first letter of every word. Here, we add a colon. So inside this block, we can define our program. So def name, add parenthesis and add a colon. Now inside the parenthesis, add a self keyword. We will get back to this later. Now for this method, let's print name. So here, let's define another function called age. So add the keyword self and in the next line print age. So with this class we defined a new type and with this type we can create new object. So an object is the instance of a class. A class simply defines a blueprint or template for creating an object, but object is the actual instance based on the blueprint. So to create an object we type the name of our class and call it like a function, applicant followed by parenthesis. So we can store that object in a variable called applicant1. So applicant1 equals applicant. Now when we use the dot operator, we can see that we have these two methods, name and age. Now let's call the name method of our applicant object and run our program. So you can see name is printed on the terminal. Apart from the method, these objects can also have attributes, and these are like the variables that belong to a particular object. Hereafter we define applicant1 dot. So here applicant1 dot a equals Dion. Applicant1 dot b equals James. So let's print applicant1 dot a. So let's run our program. So the name is Dion. Now we can create another object. Let's call it applicant2. Applicant2 equals applicant. Now this object is completely different from the first object. Now if we print applicant2.a, look, we get an attribute error. So each object is different instance of our point class. So here we can define a value. Applicant2.a equals 35. Print applicant2.a. So we can see the age is 35. So that is it for this tutorial. Please support my hard work by liking this video and sharing it with others. Also leave a comment letting me know what more do you want to learn in this intermediate series. Also subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you soon.